Well, hey, so it looks like we got two folks in here with us, and there's two people watching. I don't know who it is. Nobody's come up, said anything. Uh-oh, I'm frozen. Hello, Brandon. Well, all right. So I guess I'm on now. Hopefully, I'm hoping I am. It looks like something's wrong with the internet. Now everything looks good. I don't know what's happened, but anyway, here we are. Technical difficulties. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Of course, we haven't done these live streams in a while, so maybe we just got to, work out all the kinks with it, and it is what it is, and we'll figure that out, I guess. And this is kind of basically one of those things where we're trying it out again and seeing what can go wrong. Which you just saw what could go wrong, and that was really messed up. And I don't know on my end if maybe it did it and glitched and it kicked me completely off and then brought me right back on, and it's doing it again, and I don't know what's happening. It Yeah, I'm glitched again on my end. I don't know why, but I am. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I think I'm screwed. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I I don't know. It just keeps doing this, and where it would freeze up completely, and I don't know. I just stopped moving altogether. So I'll have to figure it out. And I don't know, man. Maybe this platform ain't gonna work. You know, uh, I, maybe it's my computer. Maybe it's something. I have no idea what's going on, but whatever. So yeah, it did it again. Great. And so I'm not going to be able to read comments or anything like that. And I'll just be talking, and that feels silly. So, wow. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, guys, so, well, I realize that it's kind of a slow time for everybody, and it's kind of weird. And, people are hitting me up with emails right and left telling me how bad it is in their economy. And, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks more than I can tell you, and I don't want it to be that way for anybody. But it kind of sucks here too. Hey Beth, how are you? How are you? Good evening. Good evening. Glad to see you. Uh, I'm having technical issues on my end here. I don't know why my computer is doing what it's doing. It's freezing up on my end, and but apparently you guys can see me, and I'm glad to do it. I'm wondering, uh, are you getting the notifications? Are you seeing that we're doing this? And we just decided to do this today, just to see if the software is up and running. I need to figure out what's going on with my computer, and why this is doing this. This is not how I wanted this to go, But anyway, back to the economy. Okay, so yeah, I know the economy's bad. I heard today that Texas is having some issues with Delta and other products that they're yanking right and left, and they're saying the drinks are illegal and all this stuff. And if that's the case, man, that's gonna really suck, for Texas. And I'm wondering if that's regional. I don't know how much of that has anything to do with where they're, if it's the whole state or whatever. I need to find out a little bit more. Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. I'm glad, Beth. I'm glad you joined and everything. That's wonderful. I'm glad you're at least somebody found it. I see three people are watching, and but I'm glad you're here with it. And how about you? How's your place going? Is everything there? Is it weird? Are you having a slow time? What's up? You know, I mean, my stores are kind of slow. My stores are kind of slow, and thank God the gang is sticking in there and doing the best they can with it. And we're about to go through a low dose hemp situation where our state is going to really make it hard to sell any kind of Delta product. So we're prepared to shift, and we're going to go into total nootropics. So we're prepared for that. Although I'm being told that we may not understand it the way it's laid out to us. I'm being told that maybe our issue is going to be that it's not going to be Delta 8, it's going to be Delta 9, THCP, it's going to be some other things. I'm hearing a lot of stuff, man, but I don't have anything definite. Uh, she says we had some busy days, and other than that, are low. I've noticed tax returns are starting to come in. I'm hoping that that's a lot of what's going on with ours. We are seeing some refund money already. Thank God. I'm glad to see that, and that's good. That's really good. Hopefully, people will continue to shop the stores, not just mine, but everybody else's as well. Hang on, I better get this up here. I don't know how well this is coming in. I need to have played with this a little more, but anyway, side the point. Uh, but yeah, I'm of course the disposable issue is happening. I'm hearing people tell me that they're having a hard time getting disposables, and that the people that what they was normally getting them from, they're not getting them, and they're having to find new spots. I am unaware of that issue because here in Kentucky they've already kicked that out. There is absolutely nothing but tobacco flavor, and lawfully, I mean lawfully. So take it as you will. I'm sure that that's going on in a lot of places. Uh, we are seeing an uptick in 7 ohm product, although my stores do not sell it. And I mean, it's ugly. It's just a product I'm not really interested in, and I don't want to kill off the clientele or make them sick or whatever, because I believe at some point that's going to become an issue, a real issue, and I don't want that to kill the whole kratom game. And I'm willing to bet it will. So when that happens, that's gonna totally suck. But I can see that happening, and of course I go to the show, and every table and their brother has it, in one form or another. And they've got the next rendition of it now called pseudo. And uh and then there's one behind it as well. I saw somebody with it too, and they showed it to me. They didn't have it out. They didn't have the packet. They had packaging, but they didn't have it where it was complete, and they didn't have enough of it to sell. But they do have the third rendition of it already. So they shut one down. Of course, they pop another one up, and it kind of is what it is. And I already see the writing on the wall for it, and that really that sucks. That sucks like nothing else, man. Like nothing else. And I absolutely hate knowing that's fact. So, but whatever, man, if you guys are selling it, that's great. If that's something you all want to be involved in, that's cool. Individual choices, it's just like cold beer. Everybody likes something different, you know. But I do believe that in the future, nootropics is going to be the way where it's at, and I believe people are going to be moving towards that. I saw a lot of that coming out, and because people were having issues with Delta, now of course each state's wanting you to start registering with them, and that's going to make it just impossible for people to even get involved in, or even want to be involved in, because 200 per SKU. That's what Kentucky is. And why, per SKU, per flavor, why would you do that? Why would you do that for low dose, whatever? And I just don't understand. I think what they're trying to do is just grab as much of this money as they can. And if you're wanting to sell in that state, then you're going to have to pay it if you want to lawfully be sold there. There'll always be the lawbreakers and rule breakers, and when that happens, it'll be what it'll be. And I don't know how they'll treat the manufacturer, but I know how they'll treat the retailer. You know, they'll just grab it and confiscate it, and either that or they'll lock somebody up for contraband. And it could run the same charge as marijuana. I hate to hear that, but and I'm not going to jail for that. I'm not doing it. So we're going straight nootropics, and just as soon as that all starts, and we're gonna try to do some other things, and hopefully that's something that pans out for us. If you guys have other alternatives, I'm waiting to hear. I really am. But right now, kind of is what it is. In all reality, it is what it is. And we just want it to be right, and we're going to do what the law says. And I encourage all you guys to do the same thing. But I can remember when I didn't always participate in the lawful activities, you know. So I understand when you guys have to make some moves and do your thing. I totally get it, man. I really do. I really absolutely understand. But you got to face consequences, man. Got to face consequences. If you roll the dice, you got to be willing to either pick up your money or let your money go, because it's going to be what it is, and that's not what anybody wants to hear. But it's facts of life, facts of life. And so, in the wholesale, speaking of rolling the dice, we've brought in a bunch of new product, and we're trying some things out. I saw a lot of things at the show, and so we started bringing them in just to see what would happen. Some of it's panning out, some of it's not. It's not the greatest. It's not blowing anything away, but some of it is doing real well. So we're having really good luck with some of the vaporizer products that we have. We've got a pen that you can write with. It's also a vape. You know, we've also got a dual cart pulse vaporizer that's doing real well. We just got some electric e-rigs, and that's pretty cool. We've got a lot of new vaporizers, but we've also got some big monster heavy glass, and like 6 to 8 inches of glass pipe, hand pipe, from 250 to all the way up to about 600 grams. That's a lot. It's heavy. It's better than I thought it was going to be. Those are starting to take off real well. We're selling a lot of detox right now. We're kind of low on detox, so we're waiting on shipments to come in. But we do have products, so if you're looking for that, it's still a good time for that. And but we've got new stuff coming in as far as new stock in that, and we will be we're selling some detox. I think people are having to go back to work. I think the Trump train is really taking off with people wanting to go back to work, and people opening up jobs. And you're just going to have to go back to work, everybody. I mean, it is what it is, and so you may need some detox. When it comes down to it. We're selling quite a bit of grinders. We've got a real good line of torches too, and of course we're seeing with our Delta dabs that we've got, and our hemp stuff like that, and we've got quite a bit of stuff that these torches are going with, and we've also got deals. So our deals and everything are buy one get there's another free little package deals that we've got. And if you're looking for those, let me know. Send me an email, chad@unswholesale.com, and I'll send those all over to you. But check out the Instagram, check out the Facebook page, and we've got them up there. And so you can find all those if you're looking for those deals. and we've got a lot of that stuff. Uh, oh man, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I'm trying, man. I really want you all to succeed. I don't want you to have to go through the bullshit Brandon and I have gone through to get where we are. And I more than want to help you guys in every single way. We want to do, we're going to start getting on these lives more, and we're going to get in here, and we're going to do the question and answer thing like we once did. And I hope to be able to help you guys that way as well. Hey, Beth says paper detox grinders and glass is the sellers on the smoke side. Yeah, but that's the staples. They're the staples. In all honesty, man. I mean, those are the things that people just always want and need. And glass is a consumable. And if you don't believe it, just hold a glass pipe long enough, and eventually you'll stand up and drop it. And when you do, you have to have a new one, and it is what it is. Okay. And then of course, papers are a consumable as well. And people always, have to have more papers. And that's very, very, very important. And as long as you got plenty of them, and wraps and cones. I'm looking at a new cone product too, as well. We have, some people that we're trying to work out a deal with so that we're able to provide those as well. Uh, I think people are just getting tired of the same old raw crap, and I think they're looking for something different. And I have found some people, and I think I'm gonna take them on. We're gonna have those in the warehouse as well. And but I think that's going to be the key to what we're doing with the smoke shop industry, is that we're going to have something besides the same old shit. And if you're continuing just to buy raw and that's it, and you think it's the end all be all, you're probably wrong, man. Because there's some really good product out there, man. Well, I'm wearing a shirt of it from Blunted. They make a wrap product and a cone product with a glass tip already. They can even make your own product, and I don't want to say white label, but like they can create your brand and make it for your shop, and put your ring around it and everything, and do all your packaging for you. And I mean, Blunted does really, really good. And if you're looking for that or something, and you're looking for a company like that, let me know. So hit me up over at Chad at unswholesale.com, and I'll be more than happy to send you all their info. As a matter of fact, Bella and I just did a video where we show the card for the info. I don't have it here, man. I've already taken it back to the office, but we did that video while she was home, and so that you all can get all the info. I'm not trying to gatekeep nothing, man. Get the shit and have every bit of it. And I know that that's going to be something that you all can really do something with. Yeah, that's a good product, man. Bones is that's a good product too, man. That's a really good product. You're right, and they I did talk about them. You're right, and those people they're good people too, man. That's going to be good for you. You're going to do well with that. If you don't, I'll be really surprised. I will be really, really surprised if you don't. Um, there was a lot of good product at the last show, at the last champs that we were at. We saw a lot of good things. I picked up a lot of new things. I picked up all the Voodoo brand except their 7 ohm product. We picked that up. We picked up some new Chopo stuff, and that's looking good. And but let me tell you guys, we're seeing some things that are about to change really big in our industry. We're seeing a couple of things that may be going away. I don't want to alarm you so that you all freak out and everything, but I don't know that it's true yet. So I'm going to wait, and I'm not trying to be goofy here or try to, wait, we'll tell you more later. But until I know it's a fact and what's happening, I don't want to alarm everybody and get everybody screwed up. But there's some changes being made, man. I see it. And there's some news going around, about some products that may or may not be here any longer. and it's getting kind of weird. And if we don't pay attention, man, we're going to see a whole lot of this happening, mainly because of what some of the people are doing in the industry. And I hate to say that, and well, no, I really don't hate to say it, man, because I really think that you guys need to put the pressure on them to stop that old shit and have everybody act right, and don't have them don't let them goof up a good thing, because I think, the kratom thing's a good thing. And I hate that 7 ohm because of it. But I know a lot of you guys have it and in your stores, and I know that you're doing real well with it. And it may be keeping some of your doors open. So I kind of get that, I kind of get that you guys are kind of reliant on it, but you are also kind of relying on disposables and the Delta products. And if something goes wrong, I mean, Beth, I mean, can you really live on papers and detox and grinders and glass? That's kind of how Brandon and I kind of got started. Really, Brandon got started with incense, and that's how we built the stores. And but I mean, can you make a living on that today? Can you even pay the rent on just the smoke shop side anymore? And I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. I personally think my stores cannot do that. If they took kratom today from my stores, that would be devastating. Be devastating. And I really don't want to see that happen. And also, a lot of people will backslide and go right back to some of the other things they were doing. Sometimes, man, honestly, the kratom is all that keeps them going, all that keeps them from going back and doing some other things that maybe they shouldn't be doing. And if you're watching this, you probably know what I'm talking about. And but I'm not a doctor, so I'm not trying to give medical advice, and if I do, I'll always get corrected for it. So, but anyway, so it looks like we've got a few people in here, and so we'll keep this going, a little longer and see how things are, because we're like 22 minutes into this, and we've had a little bit of a drop off. I can see it. Uh, wow, the adult side is the add-ons, man. That's crazy. Uh, wow, you're selling that much in adult product? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that people were still buying stuff like that, as far as the adult side goes. That's good news, though. That's good news. I mean, everybody's not going to Amazon to buy everything, or Temu, or whatever, DHgate. You know, I've seen some crazy things on DHgate, as far as the adult side. I mean, crazy. Well, I mean, you never got back to me about it. I fully had sit around and waited on you, bud. All I wanted you to do was get back with me on it. You had the number, and I was waiting on you. I yeah, I haven't done anything with it. I was just waiting on you. So if you hit me up, that'd be cool. Yeah, I saw the email. I responded to the email, man. I asked some questions in the email. Maybe you should look in your spam and make sure that I'm not there, because I thought maybe something come up on your end. So we're ready to go. I'm more than ready to go with that. I did the video for it. So I'm interested. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Cause I talked to Brandon about it. I showed Brandon about it. Brandon saw the videos about it, and yeah, it'll work. It will work. Mail enhancements. Yeah, we're in an area that people don't order from the internet. They also are the ones who still VHS player. Jesus, that's awesome. That is awesome. That's fire, man. Beth, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Oh my goodness. Mail enhancement pills. That's wonderful. You got a good source for that? Because if you don't, Brandon had somebody reach out to us one time, and if you're looking for another source, hit me up in an email, and I'll get that source for you. We don't sell a whole lot of it. But I mean, here in Louisville, they can go to any gas station and pick that up all day long, if they want it. Uh, I only know where a couple, two or three adult shops are, in Louisville, and it's mostly, butt plugs and dildos. And I mean, apparently they're expensive. I don't personally need butt plugs and dildos, but whatever, you know. And then as far as male enhancement pills, man, I mean, but they're everywhere. I've never been in a gas station that didn't have rolls of them. But I have seen that our big cash and carry has a big section of them. So I mean you must be right, because they have to be a big deal. I mean, they have to be a real big deal. So I don't know, you know. I mean, what else do you sell there? I mean, what else as far as adult stuff? I mean, are they buying, lingerie? Are they buying, adult toys or anything like that? I mean, do you sell the real dolls and all that too? Because I knew somebody that had a half and half side, and like they had like a crazy amount of these real dolls. And I don't mean like real dolls. I mean more like what's the word? Not like blow up dolls though, but the less expensive ones, just the less expensive ones. So I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, they were selling them. That was kind of crazy. All right. Uh, must not have come through. Just followed up the email and bumped the thread up to the top of, okay. Yeah, I know it is. Joe, I believe you, man. I was with it. I was pretty excited about it. I was. I am excited about it. I know that will work. Um, I will look at that once I'm done with this. And but I'm telling you, man, I will resend it. How about that? I'll resend you mine, and I'll even take a picture of it and whatever you want me to do, so that I can prove that I sent it. Um, Anyway, guys, why I'm moving in to look at this is because I just got done with cataract surgery. So I'm having a little hard time reading some stuff. So I'm having to constantly go back and forth with the monitor here. So I just don't want you to think that I'm not answering everything. I just having a hard time seeing. So let me get back. See, Beth says I have a few, the ones that are with a shark, but they're not my top seller. The gas stations in the area don't carry it. Man, you've got it made there then. You got it made. I've sold a few lifelike dolls. God, that's crazy. Well, man, honestly, you don't have to feed them. You don't have to talk to them. It is what it is, and I understand that totally. It'd be kind of lonely though, when you're having a shit day and they won't talk to you, or make you, food or anything. And thank God my wife can, put up my ass, and I don't have to have a real doll, uh, the main company that sold them has up and disappeared. You mean the male enhancement pills or the real dolls? So, yeah, I love you too. Joe, really, man, honestly, bud, I did that. I'm being serious. I'm about that product, really about it. And I know it'll work. I know you're exactly right. I know that product will work. And I've talked to several people about it. So I know it's an easy sell, because, and the way you're doing it right now, with the product already in it. But of course, I can't do that because we don't have a hemp handler's license. So for us doing it the way we were talking, it'll work. It'll work. No problem. No problem at all. And especially with the way they're boxed in, and it's just an easy sale. It's a very easy add-on sale. So I'm just saying. And then the way you do it though, Joe, the way you do it with the product already built into it, and as soon as they're done with it, they can clean it out, and then they got the product again. As far as just the pipe. So you're exactly right. But don't go into it too much on here, because somebody on here will get slick and they'll make your product. It'll just happen. You know, Real dogs are the ones that disappeared. The ones we had have sold at we have sold to the same guy. The last one left here in the trunk of his car. Well, I know. You know what? I got a source for that too. At the last champ show, they got a whole adult section now. I don't know if you know that or not. I don't know if you went, but they had a whole adult section. it embarrassed my 19-year-old daughter so much when, her dad was going through it. And, I said, hey, let's interview these people. She said, let's not. She's so embarrassed by it. But yeah, so I saw those people. I know that and they had them in every shape, size, and color. And so even some of the trans stuff, they even had, I don't know, some of it's kind of questionable. They looked a little teeny, pre-teeny, and that weirded me out a little bit. I didn't go into the booth because, mainly because Bella was there, but I was interested to see what kind of filth was in there. But that's awesome. Mainly because he was right out there in the open, and there was quite a few people in the booth, man. So I wasn't the only pervert there. So that was wonderful, you know. But yeah, they were they were doing their thing. And if you're looking for that source, I do know who they are. I do know who they are. So if you are looking for more of them, let me know. But I'm telling you, man, be prepared. There is a lot of different kinds, just a lot, a lot. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it almost looked like, a Blade Runner, type situation where they had all these replicants, and man, they wasn't robotic or nothing. That's pretty realistic looking, pretty realistic, you know. Now this is the second time I've seen them. This is the second year I've seen them in a row. And then I was talking to somebody who went to an adult show, and where it's just nothing but adult porn industry there. And they said that they were seeing some things there that even made some of the porn stars kind of creeped out, because of what the different types were there. So it was kind of weird. They also said there was like monsters there, and like they had monster dolls, and you know what I mean. Anyway, very, very wild, very wild. Uh, we put clothes on one and had put her behind the bar and had a customer talking to it. Well, I don't need to tell you that that's great, because it is. And, it is what it is. I think our customer base is wild. You wouldn't believe the stories Brandon and I could tell. Well, because all you all can tell them too. All you guys and girls you all have all seen damn near everything we've seen, and we saw it. I just didn't see it coming when it happened. We have seen some foolishness. There's a part of the adult industry that's hitting a weird side. Yes. Yeah. He was telling me about female werewolves, and vampire women, and mummy women, of course, mummy dudes, and vampires, and werewolves. And he even told me about Frankenstein, the female Frankenstein, and the male Frankenstein. And of course, you had to dress them. And zombies. Oh my God, he told me about zombies too, and we laughed till I cried. I laughed till I cried, especially about the zombies. And he said the grotesque side of it. You know, he said he could see that. He could see that would happen, like, for real. If we had an apocalypse, that there would be those guys there, that would try to do that. You know, and he said so they had them there, and he said they was about the same price as the others. But it is getting apparently. He just said there was something that was kind of creepy. So I'm thinking they had some that looked like little ones. And he wasn't very cool with that. He said they were trying to call them little people, but he said clearly that's not what was up. Clearly, and so he wasn't. Said that wasn't very cool, but what can you say? You're there as doing something else. So, but whatever, right? Whatever. And so, but yeah, I think the industry is about to change, and I think that the stores, I think, better better get into the mindset that maybe it's not just going to be smoke shop and vape, and maybe it needs to be alternative products, crystals, runes, rocks, gift items, I know everybody jokes at me when I say, socks and lunch boxes and novelty type stuff, but I know a store, man, that he's pretty big in the industry, man, and he's run his whole business having, puzzles and games and posters and like Superman statues and werewolf there, and just monster stuff and just statues, mostly gifty. He said that probably only 20% of his whole store was now smoke shop, and he was becoming more uh, a gift store. You know, he said he had a small adult section, and nothing crazy. Mostly box lingerie, and he said some blister pack, toys and stuff like that. And I think that maybe but he's hanging on, man. He's hanging on. Uh, Beth says she got custom shirts, laser cutting, 3D printing. Oh, that's cool. On site also. I keep them coming in to see what's new that day. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I can see that. Um, 3D printing is becoming a big deal. In my Discord, I saw some guys talking about that, and they were talking about making displays and stuff like that with a 3D printer, and they were talking amongst themselves about how to do it. It must be pretty simple. I've never played. I have never ever played with one. Never, not one time. I've seen it done, but it just seems like a lot of work. And you got to be able to put everything in by the dimensions, and there's a whole grafting and I'm just don't have the patience for that. I don't have the patience for that. I'm glad Beth does, and it's probably, it is a lot of fun to watch, and it layer it out, as it does, and I think that's pretty cool looking. And I don't know how, I mean, as far as the money involved in it, what equals what makes this, and I don't understand that it very well. But of course, if you got into it, you would understand it. You would totally get it, and so that's wonderful. That you guys, and Beth, I'm glad that you can get involved in that, and I hope you're making money from it. I really do. I mean, what do you print? I mean, are you printing like the dragons and all that, like I've seen done? Are you printing the castles and the figurines and all this? I just wonder what all you're printing. It is kind of cool though. I mean, to me, it sounds very, very cool. Manufacturing class, mini. I guess I could watch a YouTube video about it, because that's what he said. One of the guys said in the Discord, he said that he learned it all on YouTube. He's bought 4 or 5 different printers, and he's leveled up every single time, where one printer just doesn't do exactly what he needs it to do, so he moves on to the next one. And it does seem to be cool though. He showed some things on there that they've done, and that's pretty cool. And then of course, you look at it on YouTube and you ask yourself, well, hey man, that looks like a lot of work. To me it does. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just looking into it too much. And if that's the case, okay, but I don't know. I mean, maybe. But I do think that we're going to have to add new things for the stores. I think that's going to be necessary. Dragons, naughty figurines. The printer paid for itself in less than 3 months. Good God. Yeah, but then what about the stuff that you the product that you put into it, to make the figurines, you know, uh of course there's costs associated to that. I'm assuming that gets eaten up by the price you sell the thing for. I was in a town one time, and in the mall there was a comic book store that had this stuff, and this guy would he had all kinds of figurines like that, all kinds of dragons and snakes and turtles and all this stuff, and they were very intricate, man, very intricate. And you could, they were texture, of course, and he had them all right there, and you could buy them and walk away with it. But I just didn't know how he was making money on that, especially for the time I thought it took to make them. Maybe it's faster than I know, but I just can't believe that because there's so much to it, and especially the time it takes. I guess you design it one time and then you put it as a file, and whenever you want to make another one or whatever color you want to make it, you do. And that's pretty cool. It's and now they're also selling in bulk. I've got a source for that as well. If you want 3D printed, figurines and stuff like that, I got a source for that as well. And I saw that came through as a catalog online one time not too long ago, and I kept it just to thumb through it, because it was an online catalog. I could look through it anytime I wanted to. And they had a lot of different things. And like, even if you wanted to do custom things, like they would allow you to send in a full size picture of your dog, and they would 3D print your dog, and so you would have it forever, you know, and also they could 3D print, pictures of people, and they could do all that, and apparently there's a program for that as well. So that's very, very cool, man. That's very, very cool. I wish I could have the patience to do that, but I know better. I know I'm not, you know. And then of course with us having three stores and everything, you'd have to teach everybody in the store how to use it, and you know uh sometimes that don't work out. It gets tough to do. I guess we could print them in one spot and transfer them in there the next business day. I mean, I guess that's possible, you know, but I mean, that's still a lot of work, for $5-10 worth of profit. Just me talking, you know. But yeah, as far as the the runes and the crystals and the sage and the sweetgrass and all that, I think you're going to have to start thinking about the metaphysical. I think we're going to have to start getting into that, and I think we're going to have to, tarot cards and altars and things of that nature. You may have to do it. Uh, I can start a print and walk away after designing the file. Usually takes getting it started, making sure that the first few layers is good. Most time I'm placing orders, it is a printing. Well, yeah, I can see that. But the design of it, man, it takes time too, and I mean, I guess you have to ask what's your time worth, and if it's worth your time, you're going to sell enough of it. Yeah, and yeah, I guess if you think you can sell enough figurines, and you think, and naughty figurines, of course, always sell. You got that adult side, and so yeah, that'll probably sell real well. And are they all one color, or do you make them in different colors, or do you have to paint them? What happens there? And if I had to paint them, man, I'm out. I'm out because I don't have that. The wife has patience for that, but Chad don't have patience for that. I barely have patience, for the internet as is. You know, I'm really, I don't want to get into those details. I want the big picture. I want it to happen now. And that's why when this thing freezes up, if I don't learn how to fix it real quick, oh, awful, awful feeling. And I think maybe, my computer may need to update or something like that. That may be really what's going on here. I hope that's all it is, because it has frozen up repeatedly on this side. I don't know how much it's frozen on your side. I don't know, but I've been very fortunate to be able to fix it really quick. All right. Beth says I got multi colors, a single color. I printed a few, but most customers have wanted to do the painting themselves. Oh, thank God. Thank God. That's crazy. Hey, Beth, send me some of those pictures and I'll put it on the community post, so that when people watch this, they'll know exactly what you're talking about. If you want to, advertise them, I don't know if you got an online site, for that. And if you do, drop, send me the links and I will send them to people. I'll post them for you. And then if you make sales, great. If you don't, well, you had nothing to lose, You know, it didn't cost you anything. So there you are. Uh, I'm fine. Oh, good. I'm glad. She says I'm fine on that side, coming through with a clear picture. Well, I mean, right now, right this very second, my screen is frozen. And so I have learned what needs to be done in order to fix it. And so now I'm moving again on my side so I can see it and read the column, you know, to be able to read your comments. And so, see, it's froze again. And this is just getting worse now. Okay. Well, but yeah, Beth, if you want to send me a link, if you have a website for it, or you want to send me some pictures, you know, so people can see what you're talking about, that'd be great. And maybe that would spur them to do that as well. So yeah, if you want to do that, you know, send it to Ask Chad or send it to Chad at unswholesale.com, or send it to askchadwade@gmail.com. Either way, as long as I get them, I can download them and I can post them, show people, and celebrate your gift of patience. Because I'm betting it's a gift of patience, and I'm betting 'cause I just that manufacturing part. All right, guys. So it's getting there. Yeah, that'd be great. I really want you to do it, Beth. I'm being serious. I want to get it out there for you. And if you sell 1,000 of them, that'd be great. Remember, I drink Bullet Bourbon, Orange Label, not expensive. If you want to send me one bottle, that's great. You know, if you do, that's wonderful. I'm just kidding, sorta, not really. But anyway, well, look, guys, it's getting on, and it's Friday, and I know everybody's, you know, having one of those days, and I'm going to. Oh, I have invented some new cuss word. I bet that's true. If I did it, I would have busted the printer. I know exactly what I would do. I don't have the patience for it. So I'll bet you have really got the gift of vocabulary there, as well as patience. All right, guys, I'm gonna shut this down, y'all. This thing is just keeps freezing up and everything, and so I'm constantly trying to work with it and make it do its thing. I appreciate everybody that came out tonight. We're gonna try to do this again every couple of weeks. You know, next week I'll be out, and so I won't be able to do that. Hopefully, by the next time I do it, my eyes will be better, and I'll be able to read a lot better. They're kind of clearing up now, so I guess I'm just getting used to what I'm seeing. But we'll do it again next time. But I do appreciate everybody coming out, and I thank you so much for doing it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you again. Good night. Love you all so much for doing this and being with us. All right, y'all. See ya.